Delivering exceptional customer experiences has never been more important in telecoms, where high acquisition costs make retention and upselling absolutely critical. So for VodafoneZiggo, one of the Netherlands' leading telecom providers, that meant finding a way to combine human empathy with the speed and efficiency of automation. So by partnering with Deepdesk, now part of AnywhereNow, VodafoneZiggo introduced AI assist tools that empower agents to work faster, reduce handling times, and enhance customer conversations across their channels. The result was happier customers, more productive agents, and a leaner, more scalable contact center operation. Today, I'm joined by both companies to explore how they achieved these results, what lessons they learned along the way, and what it meant for the future of customer service. Welcome, Jasper and Brendan.
Thank you.
Good to see you both. Thanks for joining. Really excited to dive into today's conversation and hear about the partnership. But just before we dive in, how about we just do a quick round of introductions for our audience? Jasper, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and the company you work for?
Yeah, so my name is Jasper. As you said, working for VodafoneZiggo, one of the Netherlands' leading telcos. We are partly mobile and television and internet, of course. My role within the company is manage a digital service that makes me responsible for the setup of the assisted service channels that we handle in our contact centers.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. And Brendan?
Yes, hi, I'm Brendan Jackson. I'm the COO of Deepdesk. My job is the day-to-day operations of Deepdesk, and one of my roles also is focused on our customers and their success. Deepdesk as a company is focused on providing the best AI solutions within the contact center to help agents do their jobs better and to help them work with AI in the best way possible to service our customers, make the agents more efficient, to make the customers happier.
Fantastic. And that is ultimately what it's all about, isn't it? Making customers happier. So let's dive in. Jasper, you've been working with Deepdesk for now more than, 5 years now. What's made them your go-to partner as your customer service needs have evolved?
Yes, thank you. That has been quite a journey, to be honest. When Deepdesk came to us, they didn't have that much product in place yet. And what they did have in place was some kind of machine learning. This was in the pre-era of GPT. So we're not talking about AI all the time. And Deepdesk came to us, but with actually the story, we do think that machine learning and AI could help you in your customer services. And from there on, we just started to figure out the product. We started with trying to automate email because of the complexity of the questions. That was a little bit too hard at the time. But then we really found some other problems. And this is also why we're very happy with Deepdesk. They're always looking into problems that they can solve with their product. So their agility was the reason that is the reason that we're still working with Deepdesk, honestly.
That's great to hear. And Brendan, from your perspective, how's things? What do things look like through your lens?
Yeah, so VodafoneZiggo was as Jasper mentioned, our first customer, and really worked together with us to find the use cases that we could help to solve, and then build the product together iteratively. And that I think has been the strength of our success with them and our partnership with them, is that because we started in that way, we're also always able to go to them with our new things and say, hey, we have this new thing coming out. We have a new problem we're trying to solve. What do you think? Do you think this is something that would benefit not only you, but be a general benefit to other customers? So it's been a very collaborative partnership. I believe we first started working with VodafoneZiggo in 2019, and like Jasper said, pre-AI. I mean, in its current form, it was machine learning back then. So when we talk about that, we've been doing this for a long time. We mean it. We were sort of doing this in the infancy, and obviously the introduction of AI has helped us even do more. But that's how we see it, and we're very pleased that it's been such a great relationship, and that's continued on to where it is today.
Super. Well, let's talk about that journey. I mean, it started with features like autocomplete, summarization, and pinned messages. So, why were these early assistants so impactful for your teams? And how did these first steps prove the concept of AI assist tools within VodafoneZiggo's contact center? Jasper, do you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I do, because at the moment we also chat in the in high volume was also quite new to us, and honestly, to keep chat an efficient channel, we needed concurrency, which means we had to ask our advisors to handle at least 2 chats simultaneously, which asks a lot of effort from them. And our systems weren't in place to actually handle 2 customers at the same time. Their UX is not built for that yet at that time. So we did ask a lot from our advisors, and we were looking into ways to make their lives easier. And that's the issue that Deepdesk actually solved for us at the time, and still does. Because the effort is less, we are able to give the agent at least 2 conversations simultaneously. And this is where it really adds value for us. And besides that, quality, of course, because from one hand, you have the predefined answers that are always correct, because otherwise they wouldn't be in the system. And otherwise, you give the agent more headspace to use for actual connection and actual conversation with the customer, because the processed things and the easy part of the conversation, you can automate that. And that leaves more time and headspace for the human part.
Yeah, thanks for that. And Brendan, what was that like from your perspective? How straightforward was that to achieve?
Yeah, so again, starting from scratch, it was for us spending time in the contact center and looking at how agents worked and what their current workflow was and how they do things. That was the real key for us in understanding how we could build a product that would be useful to the agents and that would fulfill the needs of VodafoneZiggo, which are very similar to the needs of other customers. And for us, and especially with VodafoneZiggo, it was identifying some of those initial use cases and then layering things on as we continued. And that, I think, has been the key to our success as a team and a partnership. Is you have these initial areas where we could really help the agent to, as Jasper said, connect better with their customers. So instead of spending time doing simple tasks, they can spend time really focusing on the customer. We see a lot of this happening with other customers as well, where this context switching is constantly happening, and it's taking the agent away from the conversation, from making a meaningful connection, and having to do that across multiple conversations at the same time makes it even more difficult. So for us to be able to help VodafoneZiggo in identifying the repetitive actions that the agents are doing and help to automate or assist in those actions, I think was the key to our success. And from that, you then see other things coming about, and we'll come to that later, I'm sure. But for us, it's been about let's take a case, a use case, let's figure it out, let's solve it, and then from there, many others seem to mushroom out. Right? It becomes like, well, if you can do this, can we do this, this, and this? And that's where that iterative partnership comes into play.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jasper, today you're using a handful of assistants and tools, including handover summaries, I think, and verification reminders, and even self-service templates. Which of these has been the most valuable to your agents in a day-to-day operations?
Well, at the moment, we over 25% of all the things that are set on in a chat or on a messaging conversation are not generated by the user itself. It's generated by Deepdesk, and that is really helpful. So I think that's where we started, and we added a lot of features on that to make the life of the advisor easier and to create more efficiency. But still, that basic part is the most helpful for us, because that gives the agent the time and the space to do other things as well, and to be able to handle 2 conversations at once.
And did the agents themselves influence, the process? Which, in terms of which tools were adopted and how they were designed?
Yes, a lot actually. Deepdesk, as Brandon mentioned, has been in our contact centers many times, just sitting next to an agent, talking to them, see how it works. But also as an organization, we are really organized to really keep to find new ways to make the life of the agents, advisors easier. A good example of that is something that has nothing to do with AI, but the UX of Deepdesk was so good integrated within the system that they said, yeah, we actually want Deepdesk to also give us our personal collection. We just want to add our own sentences in the machine so that they can recommend that, but also that we can use them. This is something that every chat system has in their current tooling off the shelf as well. But the UX of Deepdesk, how good it was integrated within our tooling, the advisors asked, put that in Deepdesk and not in the tool that we are chatting in, because that's more helpful to us. That's a good example of something that advisors now use daily because of their own input.
Yeah, what an invaluable approach. Brendan, how important has it been to keep adding new capabilities to ensure continuous value for your clients like VodafoneZiggo?
Yeah, I mean, it's the lifeblood of being able to continue to grow our business and to offer more services to our customers. And as Jasper said, our ability to be able to sit in a contact center and to see agents work is a key part of that. I joined Deepdesk almost 4 years ago, and one of the first things I was able to do was to go visit the VodafoneZiggo contact center in the north of the Netherlands, and to sit behind agents. And I had never done that before, and just watch how they work and look at them with multiple browser tabs open, and to Jasper's point, a Word document with their own personal collection in it, and all these different systems they're using in order to service a customer, and it really brings the whole thing to life. And so for us to be able to have those insights and do that research at the point the agent is doing things is invaluable. And you take that and you pair that with staying ahead of the curve when it comes to technology and understanding what is capable with AI today versus what it was 5 years ago. Is really important. And for us, it allows us to stay ahead, I think, of the larger providers of CCaaS solutions, because they're just bigger companies, right? And we are specialized really in this one thing. How do we provide and solve these use cases using AI? And to Jasper's point, keeping it within the frame of the technology the agent is currently using. So everything we do is sort of in this single pane of glass. Everything happens where the agent is already doing their work, and it makes it as easy as possible to use us and delivers that value to the customer. The worst thing we can do is introduce something that disrupts the flow of an agent, and we avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked about taking an iterative approach. What does that actually mean, and in terms of reality, and how does that keep you relevant and meeting customer demands?
For us, it is as it sounds. We pull a group of people together and we go and visit our customers. And in this case, we will go and visit VodafoneZiggo. We'll come as a group, a cross section of people like myself from the operations and customer side, engineers, UI, UX, product people, and we'll go and meet with our customers, and in this case with Jasper and his team, who bring in similar resources across his team as well. And we're able to really sit down and continue to understand what's working well, maybe what needs to be improved, and what are new opportunities where we can bring in and add more value. And by doing that together as a collaborative team, we also are able to cut down a bit of the red tape. So things that might take a few months over a lot of emails and video calls, we can solve in an afternoon. And have had some times where we've walked out with an MVP created and ready to go, and let's go build it and test it in production. And I think that's where our ability to add that value comes in, and what helps us to keep ahead. It's not to name any names, but to use like a large CCaaS provider and have an idea for a feature and walk out of that same meeting with an architecture for it and maybe an MVP is just not something you're going to get. And so I think that's what allows us to add our value is staying ahead of the curve, understanding the technology, understanding the needs of the contact centers, and then being able to build quickly and get that product into the hands of the people who need it the most, which is the agents. And then they really prove it out for us.
Yeah, that's extremely powerful, isn't it? So let's talk about the results. I mean, Jasper, let's just focus on the numbers for a moment. 36,000 hours saved, 15% lower average handle time, and more than 20% of conversations automated. I mean, what do those results mean in real operational terms for your business?
Yeah, this is where it gets complex, because that handling time it's always hard to actually bank that as a company, because it is very hard to pinpoint where was that handling time otherwise. And this is where what I said before again, this is where the agent UX really matters, because this is where the actual value is. Because due to the fact that we are able to easily handle two conversations simultaneously, our handling time is probably way better than the numbers you just mentioned. Improved. The improvement is way better, I mean. And that's simply because we are enabling our advisors to handle chats simultaneously in a way that they're still able to use their mind space to really make a connection with that customer, and not with typing over some things that are already in another system or so, or the easy part of the conversation. So that it's the same answer as I gave before, but that is where for me the actual value lays. And I really have to say that what Brandon says, I really want to acknowledge that, because I really have the feeling that the product that Deepdesk has is a product that we thought of because it solved all our problems, but of course they sell it to a lot of other customers as well, and they have the same issues, but it's really built up on issues that we have on a daily basis in the contact center, and they really just came and feature by feature improved the UX of the agent himself, and that's where the value is. And that's because we are also very keen on EX to CX. We really believe in that, and Deepdesk really helps us to improve the EX on chat, because it is quite hard to handle a few customers at the same time, especially if they have complex problems about Wi-Fi or whatever. Then you really need to have some assistance to really are able to and help the customer and connect the customer, and do that with a nice NPS. And everything we can think of to make the life of the agent easier to do that, we try to build, and Deepdesk is for us the way to do that.
So Brendan, from your perspective, what does this scale of impact say about the role of AI augmentation in large enterprises?
No, I think it speaks for itself in that it can be a help, and it really depends on where you want to use it within your organization, your contact center, and how much of it. Jasper brings up the point of there's easy bits of a conversation that can be handled by AI right now, very efficiently and very effectively. There's, look at the conversations as there's a beginning, middle, and end. The beginning is usually pretty standard. The middle is where the tough part is, and the end is also pretty standard. And with AI right now, there's a lot you can do with the beginning and the end to make that easier for your agent to deal with. As we progress, there's now things that we can do in the middle as well. And we're getting to a point where that fully agentic future is you can see it. And I think depending on your organization, it's still maybe 3-4 years away. But we're at a point now where there is this great human agent, AI agent hybrid going on, where the two are working together to solve problems. And some of those problems are happening fully agentically in the background, and some are happening with the agent as the last set of eyes. We call it the human in the loop. But I think all of these things come together to continue to make a large impact on the agent's ability to offer a great level of service to the customer. It only makes it better and better. There's this possibility, or there's this future now, at least with Deepdesk, where an agent never leaves their conversation window. Everything they need is brought to them in real time based upon the conversation. Simple tasks are handled in the back end, which again allows the agent to focus on connecting with the customer and providing better service. And all these things happen today. So the impact, I think, right now is large, and I think it continues to get larger and larger over the next few years. And as customers become more comfortable with using AI, and as their customers become more comfortable with the idea of interfacing with AI.
So, looking ahead, what new opportunities or challenges do you expect to tackle together? Jasper, would you like to take that first?
Yes, of course. So what I do see is that the challenges with AI also, of the AI brings a lot of challenges as well, but it also brings chances to make a difference. And I do see with Deepdesk, as Brandon just said, we are partly automating, and this is where we really could add value, because I am a strong believer that we don't have to automate everything we can. We really have to look at what topics can we add value to our company, and that can be an NPS improvement, upsell, whatever. It can be anything, value in the most broad way you can think of. But for us, value becomes more important, and the AI enables us to really look into the parts of a conversation where we can add value and put our focus there, but even conversations in general, because we can also automate or do contact reductions with self-service for the simple tasks that don't add value. So value for us is the most important thing, and I think we can make a difference there with Deepdesk.
That's some great advice there. And Brendan?
Yeah, just to echo what Jasper just said there. For us, it is also working with our customers to understand their specific use cases and the areas that we can continue to add value. As I mentioned before, we found with VodafoneZiggo, and this has been amplified with other customers, that we start small. We don't try to eat the whole apple at once. We take a small bite and work with our customers to solve some use cases. And we saw those use cases and improve the value, whether it be in NPS, whether it be in average handling time reduction or first call resolution increase. And then the light bulb starts to go off. And the question is, well, if you can do this for this conversation, can you also do this and this? Can you add this and this? And so for us, it's continue to work with our customers like VodafoneZiggo to understand what's the next thing we need to work on? Where's the next area we haven't touched yet? Well, where are the areas that, now that we have solved for A, B, and C, what's the next most complex thing that is taking up the most of your agent's time, that is adding the most complexity? How do we now attack that? And it's different for every organization. It's different depending on also where they are in their journey with AI and how comfortable they are. So that's where I see us adding the most value and continuing to work with VodafoneZiggo to understand the complexities and how we can help to solve those complexities using AI.
Well, for anyone out there looking to connect with Deepdesk, what's the best way to get in touch, Brendan?
Yeah, best way is to go to the website, www.deepdesk.com, and shoot us an email, and we'd be happy to talk to you about anything under the sun. And
that brings us to the close. VodafoneZiggo's journey beautifully illustrates how AI revolutionizes customer service, benefiting both agents and customers with improved efficiency, cost savings, and ultimately happier employees. So the future of CX is clearly a powerful collaboration between humans and AI. A big thank you to Jasper and Brendan for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
I'm Rob Scott from CX Today. Thanks for watching.